What's going on YouTube? It's Mr. Arthur Mitchell himself.
And this is Mrs. Yolanda Mitchell.
And we are
The Mitchells.
I want to thank y'all once again for liking, subscribing, and sharing our videos.
Yes.
Episode 1, Episode 2. We are glad that y'all are liking what we're doing, liking our journey, and be able to see what the Mitchells have really been doing for 12 years.
Absolutely. And this is Episode 3, so I'm excited about it. At what God has been doing. People have been blessed by everything that they've been seeing. And so we're so excited about the encouragement that our channel has been giving to married couples, newly married couples, couples who are seeking marriage. And so we're really just excited about what God is doing. So we want to come to you today in our festive, ugly Christmas sweater outfits.
Yeah.
And so just to give you that holiday fun, that cheer that I know a lot of us probably need around this time. So today we're here to talk about
Our proposal.
All right, so my husband knows how dramatic and extravagant I am. So when we first got married, he bought this beautiful gold ring. It was absolutely gorgeous, and I loved it so much. I think I randomly lost it, taking it off, trying to wash my hands. Okay, and I lost the ring. So he got me another ring just like it, and I was like, okay, well, you got to get down on one knee. Like, you're gonna have to propose to me all over again. And so in our little apartment, he got down on one knee and he proposed, and he asked me to be his wife, and I said yes. And so he put it on my finger. Well, down the line, it's been a lot of rings, y'all. Okay?
Yes.
11 years, I would say 4.
Yes.
4 rings. This is number 4. And so the third ring I got, it didn't go with my skin wasn't agreeing with the ring. So for a while, I didn't have a ring, like years. And I was like, babe, just go to Temu and get me a ring. Just go to Amazon or go to Shein and get me a ring, because I really wanted one. I was tired of walking around with no ring on. So I let him take it from here.
Yes. So I'm go back a little bit. We first got married. Like you said, we were newlyweds. We didn't have as much. So we proposed to her. And I forget how it was. I was at the mall, and she was already over at the bridal's place looking for a dress. Her and I passed at the time, and so that she know what's going on. I ended up getting a call, said, "Come on over here. She's ready." And it's so amazing. I went over there, and I was on one knee. And she turned around, I was there. Mm-hmm. I never got what I said 3-4 chords not easily broken. And I said, man, I'm not without you. I won't be nobody but myself. I won't see me without you. I couldn't make it when you were my wife. She said, yes, of course, because you're still here. But like you said, in the midst, she lost 3-4 rings.
Okay, not too much.
But we just excited about what God is doing and how He brought us from then to now. Now, I wasn't gonna get her a Temu ring. I want her to have a good ring with good value when it be meaningful. Mm-hmm. So I said, God, I'm gonna wait until I get the right ring at the right time. And I'm not gonna lie, I lost my rings too. Mm-hmm. I was at work working for American Airlines. It slipped off. Mm-hmm. I was somewhere else, but always my work habit. I've been working so much and then it slips off, then I can't find it. Mm-hmm. So. Moving forward, we was able to now in a good place where God bless us, and shout out to my dad. So he had called me, man, and he blessed all his children. So we ended up, I ended up going to get a ring. Treated myself first, then ended up going to get a ring because I want her to feel special. I wanted things to be perfect this time. I really wanted to do this right because we got no rings, this new year, and God just wanted to do something different for us. So ended up finding her the right ring. And I talked to my pastor now, told me what I want to do. She ended up helping to get a ring size. She had no clue what was going on.
I did. And I got a text message that said, hey, do you wear fashion rings? And I'm like, yeah, I guess sometimes. So that she passed it on to ask me, so what size is your ring? And I said, 8?
Yeah.
I told her 8. And then I didn't think nothing else of it until that weekend I started putting stuff together.
But it was crazy, guys. I did not know how hard it was to find a ring. And when I didn't find the ring, but the right size.
Yeah.
No, so I went from place to place. They only had size 7s, size like how you have all kinds of sizes of rings. Had size 7, some had size 9. I said, man, we gotta go somewhere. My pastor, Pastor Delani, even would give me places. Every place she gave me, the ring they had a size. Then I'm like, man, what the word? I said, come on, man. So I ended up going to the spot, to the mall. I said, the mall gotta have some rings. No, if anybody else don't got no rings, the mall gotta have some rings.
Right.
So I ended up going to this spot in the mall, and the lady gave me a huge deal. Shout out to North Lake Mall. They gave us a huge deal for both rings, my ring and her ring. So it was funny, y'all, for all that day, she said, what you doing? Why you out so much? Or when you coming home?
Listen,
what's going on?
So that day, we had went to Freedom Park or Mad Miles. We went to Mad Miles, which is a community here that get together and they work out on Tuesdays and Saturdays and sometimes on Mondays. And so we went on that Saturday. We worked out. I think it was like at 10 o'clock. After we came home, we were pooped because it's like 2 miles of just walking, dancing, running. So we had a really good time. Came home, and then he was like, well, I'm going to leave, and I'm coming back. And he kept saying he had a surprise for me. Because I'm like, okay, you got blessed with this, money. Where's, like, my gift? Like, what's going on? What you going to get me? Are you going to send me some money? Are you going to, like, get me something? And so he kept saying he had a surprise. And I'm like, okay, when you going to give it to me? So he was insinuating as if he was going to go get the surprise that day and give it to me that day, okay? So he had me like, I was hot. I was like, where is he? What is he doing? I think I laid down. We got back home like 1 o'clock.
Yeah.
I laid down. He did not come back home until 5, 6. I'm like, where are you? Where have you been? What are you doing? So he came back. I didn't see no big box. Like, I had been sending him stuff about, what was it, boot boxes or something?
Yeah, about,
yeah, like, he ain't coming home with no box. He didn't come home with no bags. So I'm like, where is it? Where is it at? Where's my surprise? And again, I was thinking I was going to get it that day. I was so mad. I said, you know what? I'm not even going to worry about it. I'm not going to say nothing. I'm just going to be quiet and wake up in the morning because I think, he had to preach that next morning. Yeah. So I was like, well, let me just be quiet because I don't want to be a distraction to the man of God. But I am upset because where's my stuff? So, yes, he was gone all day.
Yes, I was going. Funny thing about it, the whole time we're doing this, me and my pastor was talking back and forth the whole time, text back and forth. She was excited. Her husband, Pastor Curtis, was excited. And even the praising was excited. She had no clue what was going on. So back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. We got the song ready, told the musician. And the whole thing was set out perfectly. And then to the T, and she had no clue. Upset, telling me what my box said. I want my gift. Wine, I want my gift. What my gift said. All right.
I was not whining, but I was like, what is going on? I know he ain't forgot. Like, where's my gift? So that Sunday morning we woke up. I said, I'm just going to be quiet until after the service. I ain't going to say nothing until after he preached because whatever God is going to do, I don't want to be a distraction to it and I don't want to be a hindrance. So I was like, all right, I'm going to bite my tongue. Went on to service, and in service, we're doing service like we normally do. It came time for him to preach. We took out our phones. My son was beside me because he's his little armor bearer in training when my husband preaches. So he took his phone out, took my phone out, and then the music came on, and I was like, why are we? What's Brian McKnight? In the middle of service, what's going on?
And it was funny because I got the idea. I don't know if y'all are Martin fan. I'm a Martin fanatic fan.
Yes.
And you remember the time when Martin proposed to Gina, and Brian McKnight came out sang that song. Well, I actually love that song though. Get like the right moment for the right engagement for anything though. That song right there. If you want to propose, you want to dance, you want to eat a romantic dinner, that's the right song for us. I'm about to. I get up there right. Exalt the people in praise and exalt worship and bring us people in the presence. Then I said, I got a special surprise, and everything just stopped. everybody in the audience, man, excited because they all know what's going on. They were getting teary-eyed, they just looking. And she like, what's going on?
What's going on?
Clueless, right?
Yes.
So I started, and the song came on, right? And I'm supposed to be an OG. And I'm in there, man, already about to cry.
Okay, OG.
Had to turn my head around. Everybody said, that's all right, take your time. And she still had no clue. Because you thought the song was a new gospel song.
I was like, well, maybe that song like never felt this way about love. I thought it was like, okay, maybe they remixed it for Christ. I don't know. So I'm really like, what is happening? And then when he started singing, I was like, no, this is Brian McKnight. What's going on here? And then he started walking towards me. And when he started crying, I was like, oh, I already know what's happening here. I know what's going on. Yeah.
It's funny. I couldn't hold myself together. I'm trying to do a proposal. No, right. And I'm like crying like a little baby. I said, what the world going on? I said, I don't cry on the regular. I'm a G out here in the streets.
Right.
So I end up, man, getting on one knee, telling them, man, that I never felt the way about you, and I can't live my life without you. And I ended up proposing to her. And I had the ring with me the whole time. She had no clue where the ring was at. It was in my pocket. And my son saw it. He's like, Dad, what you got a ring for? I said, man, just having it. So you got 2 rings. So he had no clue because we was gonna, I let them go inside the church first. Then I took it with me. So like I said, I got on one knee and proposed to her again. And that's what happened, man. She was excited. She was crying. My daughter, man, she the videotape me. She boo-booing.
Crying.
Yeah, she crying.
The oldest one, she was crying. And I don't think he realized what he did in that moment. So for me, in hindsight now, when I look back on it, from the time of the last thing that we went through, the infidelity and the finding the phone, it wasn't that I wasn't over the fact that I found the phone and that he was cheating on me. It was the fact that the next day after everything had happened, I heard him on the phone. Now, mind you, my husband is so smart. Like, he went and got another phone. So that phone, I told him, you need to go ahead and give that back to wherever you got it from. So he was on his way to take the phone back, and he called. He was actually on the phone with the lady from the organization. As I heard him talking about me. So my mindset from that moment up until honestly recently was like, do you really like me? Like, do you really care? Because you can say all these beautiful things and then the next day you're talking about me to the enemy. And so in that moment, seeing his vulnerability, seeing him cry, seeing him go through all of this to create this moment, that's not a norm for my husband. Like, that's not, he doesn't create these moments. It's usually me that's creating something like this or would create something like this. But for him to do that for me, it settled that question of, do you really like me? And I know it sounds so immature, so minute, such a weird question to a married couple who's in ministry and who have children and who've been married almost 12 years. But it wasn't, because it hurt. It broke so many parts of me. That moment he got down on one knee, it healed a lot. It healed and it answered all the questions that I had, not only for me, but for my oldest daughter. The same weekend that I found that stuff out, she also found out that her father and his wife was going through the very similar things. And so it's been hard on her. It's been and we'll talk about that in later episodes, the trauma that comes from finding out that your parents have been unfaithful to each other or something like that magnitude. It was a lot for her. They had to go to counseling too. Like, it was the whole family. And so in that moment when he did what he did, that really healed a part of her. It healed a part of her that said, okay, wait, you can come back from this. You can have this horrible thing happen and God restore and God revive and God set free and God renew. And so at that moment also there were men in the audience who had never came to our church before. And so if there was any doubt or any question, like, can you be a man of God and, love your family? That was the answer right there. Like, they were able to see that in real time. Not only that, but right before he did that, we had a really, really, really powerful worship moment. And that worship moment, I believe it was a song, I don't remember, Never Go Back or My Response. One of those songs was playing, and I was basically saying, like, y'all, God came and said, no, you have rescued my life. And so it was like, God rescued my life, because that moment that I found out everything, and I was saying this before I even knew what was going to happen. I said, God rescued my life, because in that moment when I found out everything, I lost it. And so if anybody was watching us, they could have called the police, and I could have lost my freedom. That's how irate I was. That's how hurt I was. That's how mad I was. Anything could have happened. But God rescued my life, and he transformed my husband. I didn't know I was setting the tone for what was about to happen. That's when you're led by the Spirit, to be totally honest, because I did not know that was the open door to him getting down on one knee. So when he did it, he did a lot in that moment, not just for me, but for a magnitude of people.
Yes. And one thing I want to tell the men, like, even in the midst of things you go through, the trial, tribulation, infidelity, adultery, manipulation, you still have time and trust God that you can heal all broken wounds, that you can heal all broken hearts, that you can heal your broken heart. But you got to understand who you are and allow God to work through you. God transformed me, man, from who I was to who I am now. Because I wanted it. I wanted him to show people that even though you messed up, you can come back and make things better. You can do a restart. I preached today about the code of release. And one thing the pastor said, that even once the code is released and you mess up, you could always hit that reset button and start over. And that's happening though. Anytime you go through stuff, you may mess up, may make decisions wrong, choices wrong, but you always can go back and reset and start over. And that's what God did for me. He allowed me to start over, be delivered, be healed, be set free, and then transform to the man of God He wanted me to be. And I had to let the men know that's in the audience, like, look, you know my story, but now you can see my glory. And God allowed me to, in front of people, man, on social media, to show that how much I love my wife and how much I really want to continue this life with her, man. The journey that I had together, I know God bless us and who we are.
Absolutely, and that blessed me so much, because, ladies, a lot of times when things like this happen, and to my brothers, a lot of times when these things happen, you feel like you can never recover. You can never recover for what he's done, like whatever the other person has done. It hurts so bad. It's detrimental. You can be healed. You can be restored. You have to want it. It's not going to be easy. It's going to be ugly. It's going to hurt. You're going to doubt. You're going to fuss. You're going to argue. But if you love each other, God can turn that whole thing around. It is hard, but I'm telling y'all, with God and therapy, okay, it's a double thing. We had to have both. We had to have God, and God can come in and restore, but we had to learn how to come home after the Sunday service, after the deliverance service, how to come home on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and live this thing out. And that's where therapy came in, where our pastors was able to coach us and lead us through the Word of God, through real-time scenarios, things that was only exclusively for us, right? We were able to really walk this thing out according to our situation. And I'm just so grateful that God put us with the pastors that was able to walk us through this. Because I know if we would have went through this in any other place in our life from before, we would have never made it through. I don't have no faith in us making it through, because it was so detrimental. I literally had to call my pastor that day, and was like, hey, while I was in the parking lot, hey, I need you. I need an emergency meeting ASAP, because if not, I don't know what's about to happen. And we went to that meeting, and it was hard. It was yucky. It did not feel good. It was pressure put on both of us. I had to learn some things. He learned some things. He transformed. I transformed. And so together we're here sitting, letting you know, no, we're not perfect. By no means, by no stretch of the imagination. We're not perfect. But we are striving to be so close to perfect that you can't tell the difference, to be totally honest. And so I have to give him grace. Of course, he's given me grace. But since that moment, it's been so much better in my mind, in my thoughts, in my like, just is this really real? Am I gonna look up 30 years and it's over, or it was not what he wanted? So many questions was answered. I don't have those thoughts any longer, and I'm just so grateful. And it was more than just a ring. It was him being vulnerable. That's what got me. My husband is a man's man. Like, he is hardcore, until it comes to his family. And so he doesn't cry often. He's not a punk. So when I saw him get vulnerable in front of all those people, I was like, oh, okay, yep. He really loves me. He really loves this. He really wants this. And how he was like bragging to all of his friends, like not bragging, but like showing it off to like people at his work and people that we know, that we that we seek counsel from, people that his friends, like he was just brothers, sisters, mom, dad, like he was just showing it off. I didn't have to do any of that. And so it was just like, okay. So then after all of that, I was like, Pastor Dawn, I think I gotta plan a wedding, because he said, will you remarry me again? And she was like, yes, you do. So we will definitely be getting remarried. Renewing our vows. We will be doing that March the 1st. That's that Saturday.
Yeah, that's Saturday, March the 1st, 2025. And I want to go back real quick and reiterate what you said. Shout out to our pastors.
Yes.
People of God, believers. Make sure you have good pastors that genuinely love you.
Yes.
That genuinely care for your soul, genuinely care for your heart.
Yeah.
And genuinely care for your marriage.
Yeah.
And we had that. And thank God for Pastor Londa, Pastor Curtis, and Restoration Worship Center.
Yeah.
Because they really, helped us. Like, literally, if it weren't for them and God, I'm telling you, I don't know where would I be. Because they genuinely cared about us. They seen the hurt. They seen the bad stuff. They seen the negative stuff. They seen the fuss and the fighting, the stuff, I'm going to leave you and you're going to leave me. They seen all of that.
They seen it.
But they didn't judge. They didn't agree. They just said, God, we're going to need you and us in therapy to help us out. They coached us through it. Yeah. Pastor Curtis coached me through it. Pastor Lana coached her, and she coached both of us. And we thank God for them, because we here offer really God in therapy.
Yeah.
So we thank God for that. And I'm telling you, men, please seek godly counsel. Seek wise counsel. If you're going through something, seek counsel. We can't do it by ourselves.
Yeah.
Don't get your brother and your homeboy. Go seek wise, godly counsel. A pastor, a friend that's a pastor believer, because they're going to want to bring you through. And whether it's marriage, whether it's things going on in your life, troubles and challenges, seek godly counsel, because they're the only one going to bless you, the only one going to help you, but only not going to judge you. They're going to pray for you, give you the word, give you strategies, give you suggestions, and allow God to be the first in it. So always remember that, men and women too. Seek godly counsel. So we out in the world, they're going to give you the wrong advice, so you can be messed up. I never forget, I saw the pastor. No, man, the counsel I got wasn't godly. It wasn't what I wanted, what I needed to hear. And I was confused. But now I'm in a place now where we got pastors, man, after God's own heart.
Yeah.
That's what y'all need, pastors after God's own heart. But they're genuinely going to speak to their sheep and allow them, man, to hear their voice. So we thank y'all just for that. Shout out to y'all. We love y'all so much.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We love y'all. And one of the things that I thought about while my husband was talking is during that time, I did not have my ear to everybody. I also didn't tell everybody what I was going through. So nobody knew what I was going through except my pastor, both of them, and my husband and myself. I don't think I told anybody else what was going on, because I did not want my hearing to be clouded with opinions. I needed to hear from God in this matter. Because I was ready, my flesh was ready to go. It was ready to leave. Like, I'm done. But then my spirit was like, hold still, just a minute. Like, you're equipped for this. And so I'm so glad I did it that way. My mom was supposed to be, it was actually the week of my son's birthday, and my mom was supposed to be coming up for his birthday party. There was no way I could do a birthday party, or I could have an event, or I could do anything for him, knowing the information that I just found out. So I canceled it. And my mom, she was so heartbroken, but I didn't even tell her why. And then a year later, I did let her know like what was going on, because we were talking about it actively and openly. But I did not tell my mom. I didn't tell my dad. I didn't tell no friends. I didn't tell anybody but my pastors and God. And of course, my husband knew. It was a lot to take in. It was a lot to consider. And I did not need the opinions of everybody. So I would say if you're ever going through anything like that, please keep it to yourself. Seek godly counsel and listen to that godly counsel. It's so many things that I could have done, I wanted to do. But I'm so glad I didn't. I didn't retaliate because my pastor told me of a story of where one lady retaliated. She got back at her husband and the curses that came from that. I wanted to blast him on Facebook. I actually saw a couple where she blasted him on Facebook. And then they end up getting back restored. And so I was like, God, I thank you that I just didn't. I stayed away. But you can't tell a person how to respond when they're hurt and they feel like what they've been doing is a lie. But I'm just so grateful that I didn't do any of that. And I didn't because I was strictly listening to her. And none of the information that she was saying was easy to hear. I definitely didn't want to hear it, especially when she said, stop bringing it up. And I was like, what you mean stop bringing it up? Like, he's been doing it for this long. Why can't I keep throwing it in his face? She's like, you can't, because he's never going to be able to heal, forgive, get set free, get delivered if you keep bringing it up. So I just wanted to share that with you all. Share our backstory of all the things that we kind of have been through leading up to this point. And then the upcoming episodes, we'll break it down and talk about ministry, and talk about parenting, and talk about finances, and just different topics that God wants us to come and really, pour into others about, and just share our story however we can. If you are in need of prayer, if you have any questions or comments, please don't hesitate to comment below. Let us know what your questions are. Let us know your prayer requests. We would love to pray for you and pray with you and stand in agreement on whatever God is going to do for you.
Yeah, amen. So don't forget, y'all, to like, share, and subscribe.
Yes.
Right there, like, share, and subscribe.
Yes, down below.
Yes, ma'am. So this, March 1st, 2025, the Mitchells will renew their vows. So excited.
Yes.
So excited. We'd like y'all there. If y'all want to be there.
Yes.
Yes, it's going to be a joyous occasion because God.
I was about to say, we'll go live so y'all can see.
Yeah, we have to go live, but God has really restored my wife, restored my life, and I want to just, give her the wedding that she wants. Yes, the wedding she wants. So this woman, I love the woman. Like I said, she stuck with me, man, through thick and thin. Like, I don't know women that would have done that. They would have been left, took everything, but God restored us, restored our marriage.
Yes, God.
We're just grateful for it. So I couldn't count that robbery, man, to do what God called me to do and allow us to renew our vows and go forth in our marriage.
Yes, so I'm excited about it. Thank y'all so much for tuning in.
Yeah.
We made this a little short than the last one. The last one we got a little carried away.
Yeah.
We want to make sure that y'all listen to the entire thing. So we love y'all. We hope y'all have an amazing holidays.
Yeah.
We'll see y'all next week, but have a happy holidays. Enjoy it with your family. All right. Talk to you later. Bye.